lineup is being announced. You get a good look at the first player right there is Elio Firmino, who was the 5th ever homegrown signing in New England Revolutionary history when he signed back in November of 2018. Has been on the bench for 3 MLS matches, the Brazilian, but has yet to feature for the first team. So big that they can have the 18-year-olds here for these playoffs.
Yes.
St. Louis FC currently in their 2nd year following the merger between St. Louis Scott Gallagher and St. Louis Scott Gallagher, Illinois, and Scott Gallagher, Missouri. And they, of course, are the academy team for the St. Louis FC Pro team, which is currently 9th in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. And they are playing right now in the U.S. Open Cup against MLF side FC Cincinnati. And in fact, Schulte, the goalkeeper, Vlastos, the number 2, and Keller, wearing number 4, have all played in this U.S. Open Cup run for St. Louis FC. But right now, they are trying to get St. Louis FC's U-18-19s on the brink of qualifying for the quarterfinals of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Championships. The quarterfinal match will be held on the 24th. Real Colorado and the New York Red Bull also making up the rest of Group A. Both of those teams have played today, and a good look at our referees as we listen in on the playing of our national anthem. It's a St. Louis side who's on a good run of form, 4-0-2 in their last 6 games. And of course, that 4-1 thumping of Real Colorado on match day 1. 3 more points tonight would set themselves up nicely against the New York Red Bulls with a chance to go through to the quarterfinals, with the New England Revolution need all 3 points this evening to stay in the hunt. So we take a look at our referees. Omid Azadpour out of Cal South is your man in the middle. Ian Mangione out of Connecticut is the assistant referee on the near side. Christian Clerc out of Washington is the assistant referee on the far side. And Luis Torres from Cal South is in between the benches. There's a check of the nets. Make sure that everything's ordered before we get underway. The final 90 minutes here on match day 2 of the U-18-19 playoffs. St. Louis FC looking to continue their unbeaten form. Good look at Austin Kazi going back to his goal. Keru Fujiwara has 2 goals on the season and 20 appearances. Redmond has trained with the USL Championship side. Fejo Subotic looks to be a very important part of the double pivot in the midfield, just behind the 4 attackers for St. Louis FC. Picture of focus as it's Jeremiah Collins who gets us underway. St. Louis FC in the all-blue kits with white trim attacking from right to left. The New England Revolution in their traditional jerseys, white and red, attacking from left to right. And the early ball in for Danny Collins. So he leaves it off. St. Louis FC working their way into the box. But it will be a goal kick for the Revolution. Nishi Vlastos, wearing the number 2 for St. Louis FC. Already featured with the USL Championship side in the US Open Cup. And Austin Kazi getting his 14th starting goal for the Revolution. Vlastos able to skip by the challenge of Rivera. Some nifty skill on the far side, and now Danny Collins is away. Jeremiah Collins wanted in the middle. He's crowded out. This is Fujiwara. And Metzak gets it back to his keeper. Played it over to the near side, but out of bounds. Now the referee wants to have a word with someone. Don't think he was happy with the way Miller went up for the header. Nevertheless, St. Louis have the ball in the throw-in, and the ball comes back to Miller, who will get it over for Mayer. Joey Mayer in his second season in the Development Academy gets it over to Redmond. He pushes it along the line. Quinones gets it back to Kazi. Right back to Quinones, who does well to keep it in bounds. Keller battling for it. Quinones moving forward. Quinones continues his run. He's brought down by Redmond, and it will be a free kick for the Revolution in the 3rd minute. It was a good job by Quinones getting forward. And Ramirez gets it out wide. Freitas leaves it off and goes on the overlap. It allows the attacker to take the inside route as Burns plays it across the top of the box, and it's slid away. And shielded out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Revolution. Quinones will take it. What a spin from Firmino. Zips it over to the far side. And played in, player goes down, referee says no foul. Quinones with the intervention. Tried to slide it through, and Mayer shuts the door. Firmino. Inside for Rivera. And this time New England will get the free kick. Quickly taken into the feet of Firmino. He gets it back for Viana, who has a go. Getting across to make the save is Schulte. And the St. Charles, Missouri native will hold on to it and will roll it out. Viana applying the pressure. Victor Viana had 4 goals in the final 3 games of the regular season. And they look to run again, New England. The shot, Schulte gets down to make the save. Redmond able to clear it away from Fujiwara. And Metzak gets it across to Spiegel. Over to the far side for Freitas, who gets it in. And the cross comes in. Viana's header! A good, quick build-up down the left-hand side from the New England Revolution as they're on the front foot in the early going. And the only reason the score's still 0-0 is thanks to this save from Schulte. Schulte plays it across, and St. Louis will work it out of the back. Long ball looking for Vlastos will go out of bounds, and will be a throw-in for Freitas and company on the far side. The Brazilian Freitas is trained with the first team. And they look to build down the far side through Rivera. Rivera able to win the throw-in. So when we'll come back for Metzak. Off of Firmino last, so it'll be a throw-in for St. Louis. Viana applying the pressure, but the ball comes back to Schulte. Still going, Viana, forcing the ball long, and the Revolution will win it in midfield. Cushion header down. Nobody chasing it in a white and red jersey, so Miller will pick up the pieces. And he comes forward at walking pace for St. Louis. Back to Schulte, so good with the ball at his feet. He sails this one in the middle. Fujiwara's under it. Tried to find Viana. Oh, and cleared right off the face of Collins. Looks to be all right. And the header from Hummel sent the other way. Jeremiah Collins. Vlastos dispossessed. And Rivera loses the handle. St. Louis looking to break. Hummel is onside. Metzak trying to get back and recovers well. Good recovery speed from the center back, Nathan Metzak. And now play is stopped as Viana, I think, picked up something, whether it's maybe the referee's walkie-talkie or, yeah, it's his sound device so that he can talk to his assistant referees and the fourth official. So he'll have to fix the equipment. And he says, you know what, it's not working. I'm gonna break it while I smash it into the ground, throwing it away. So play gets back underway. It's St. Louis to go forward. Mayer gets it off. Keller. Miller. Viana applying the pressure. Now Fujiwara to put Redmond under pressure. This is a good press as it forces St. Louis to hit the reset button as they go back to Schulte. Hummel wins the free kick. Two Collins out there for St. Louis. Jeremiah Collins wearing 55 and Danny Collins wearing number 3. No relation, in fact they're from different states. Jeremiah Collins from Labadia, Missouri, and Danny Collins from Springfield, Illinois. And they have a chance to get forward here, but the offside flag is up, even though Danny Collins did well to get a foot on that as he tried to direct it goalward. Danny Collins drives over 2 hours to training each way. 4 goals in his last 3 games played. He had 2 braces, is what they call it when you score 2 goals in a game. And that included goals in the 12th and 30th minutes in that 4-1 win against Real Colorado on match day 1 2 days ago. And this is Danny Collins on the ball. Was able to find Keller, bundled over by Firmino. And it's going to be a free kick for St. Louis. So it's Vlastos and Jeremiah Collins who are over it. Three-man wall for the Revolution. This is played in, cleared away. Quiñones looking for the long ball. Was trying to get it to tail back in behind the back four, but instead went all the way through to the keeper before Firmino could get to it. It's a good idea, though, from Quiñones. Love those early crosses in behind the back four, looking for players, making runs through. As Firmino leaves it off. This is Firmino again, darting into the penalty area. Quiñones wants it at the top of the box. Instead, Firmino stops and gets it out wide to Freitas. Freitas puts it in. Quiñones! The offside flag is up, but that was a gorgeous move from the Revolution. Excellent build-up. And Quiñones, the outside back, sneaking in behind the St. Louis FC defense. A real let-off for them, but the offside flag comes to their rescue. What a cross this was, and Quiñones, that is such a hard skill. Exquisite technique from him, and so unlucky to see the offside flag up. This one will go the way of the Revolution. So Quiñones to take the throw-in. This is Ramirez. Ramirez was unable to get the ball back, so it's going to go out for a St. Louis throw-in. St. Louis's U-16, 17s are in full voice over on the far side. The chance of STL as Redmond's going to take this throw-in. And they'll look to build out of the back, St. Louis FC. This one over the head of Lawson Redmond, and it will be a throw-in for Quiñones. Keller won the first header. Subotic dispossessed by Quiñones. Good passing in tight spaces between Quiñones and Fujiwara. And Fujiwara wins the free kick for the New England Revolution in the 14th minute. Quiñones thought about going long. Dribbles his way out of traffic. It gets it into the middle for Firmino. Out wide for Fujiwara. And slips it inside for Burns. Burns still going. Has support in Viana out wide and finds him. Viana was looking to measure the cross and it's cleared away. Only as far as Ramirez, who gets it out wide. This is Rivera working his way into the box. Rivera puts it across and very nearly an own goal off the boot of Miller. Second corner kick of the game for the New England Revolution. And now cries of revolution comes from their younger academies. Fujiwara as well, just to keep the ball and hold possession, gets it off to Ramirez. Now Firmino twisting, turning, nowhere to go. And he will leave it off for Spiegel. Metzak. Bought down by Firmino. Quiñones. He's playing up from the U-17's Quiñones. Fujiwara. Burns. Looking to create at the top of the box. Gets it out wide as it's left through. There's an overlapping run. Still something could be on. Trying to flick it through. Shouts for handball. The ref not impressed. And Burns was trying to shield this out of bounds. Realized it wasn't going to go. So he gets it off. This is Burns looking to run again. Slides it in. Was looking for the run of Rivera, but it's cut out. Now a chance for Collins to return. He eludes the challenge of Ramirez and gets it out wide. Collins flying forward. Instead, it goes out for Hummel. Hummel has both Collinses to find in the box, but it's well defended on the far side and cleared away by Freitas. Now clipped in. Off the boot of Quinones. Causeway won't get there in time. It'll be the first corner kick of the game for St. Louis. So it's Jeremiah Collins who's coming over to take. And now he's going to be the short option. Keller hanging out the top of the box. Now he makes his run in. St. Louis very nearly had something cooking there. So this comes back to Redmond. Drives it over for Genenbacher. And now the Revolution's just holding up and waiting for more numbers to arrive in the midfield. Viana. Metzak. Firmino. Quinones is playing as an inverted winger, has moved all the way up into the forward line and allowed Viana to take the space out wide, and he wins the throw-in. And now it is Quinones who's coming up to take this throw-in. Foul's going to be called. So it'll be a free kick for St. Louis. Jeremiah Collins in a battle with Quinones, comes away with it. Collins looking for options. He's going to leave this short for Keller and get it back from Miller. Near side from Mayer. And drives it in, but it's intercepted. Viana. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Top of the box, Firmino. Gets it out wide for Rivera. Rivera onto his left. And he stings the gloves of Schulte, and the St. Louis FC goal did really well to get across to make that save. And strong defending on the far side by Freitas. Keller. Rivera turns Genenbacher. And a free kick quickly taken. And now the referee is going to stop play because he wants to have a word with Miller, I believe. Now he says go ahead and play. Rivera's off in space. Along the end line, plays it back. Viana swings and misses. Fujiwara lets it go. And the shot from Burns is charged down. Ramirez's turn, and that one's also blocked. Now Burns opening up But Lawson steps in to shut the door and sends it downfield. Kazi trying to get it quickly back the other way. That's a beautiful ball from Kazi to get it out wide for Freitas. Providence, Rhode Island native plays it off and goes on the overlap. Ball scooped over into the path of Freitas. Freitas is looking for the cross, instead cuts back. Now he puts it in, and it's cleared away by Mayer. And the referee pulls it back for the foul. Good advantage played by the referee. And a yellow card will be given as well to Miller. Well, he wasn't happy with Miller earlier, told him to calm down, and then saw that foul and said, you know, enough's enough in my opinion. Firmino is in the mix. Metzak is up from his center back position. Here comes the ball in. Back out to Ramirez. Escapes the attention of Collins. Ramirez looking for the 1-2, but this one will trickle out of bounds for St. Louis FC throw-in. Just about the halfway point of the first 45 minutes. New England Revolution have had the better of the chances, but it remains 0-0 thanks to some excellent goalkeeping from Patrick Schulte. Danny Collins looking to fashion the first real opportunity for St. Louis, but well out of his line to mop up is Kazi. Quinones. Little burst of speed to get past Jeremiah Collins, who brings him down from behind, and it's going to be a free kick. Quickly taken for Burns, who leaves it off for Ramirez. We'll float it out to the far side where it's brought down by Freitas. Freitas had it intercepted by his opposite number, and Danny Collins, and the ball comes to Jeremiah Collins. Mayer gets it back to his keeper, and he'll get it away from the attention of Burns. And Fujiwara doing the chasing for the New England Revolution. Kaoru Fujiwara running right at the heart of the St. Louis defense. Viana. Freitas. Freitas gets it now. He takes the inside channel. Left off for Burns. Burns thought about it. Instead gets it off to Fujiwara. Left for Quinones. Fujiwara slips it inside. It's a lovely turn from Viana. Stings the glove of Schulte once again, and it's another corner kick for the Revolution. Well, it was good strength from Viana and a quick shot as well, and Schulte did just enough to put it over the crossbar. It was a good save from Schulte, who's been called on 3 times now to make important saves. It's another corner kick for the Revolution. Metzaka's in there, cleared away before it could get to him. Perhaps another opportunity. Oh, it's a lovely move to create the space for the cross. Was overhit. As Miller gets it back to Schulte. Collins did well to keep that in bounds. And Spiegel gets it back to Kazi. Spiegel comes back to collect it. Side for Firmino, off for Ramirez. Dennis Ramirez gets it inside for Viana. You can see the interchanging of positions as now Viana has come back into the midfield. Burns takes his space, and now as Viana comes up, Burns is going to drop back centrally. Rivera applying the pressure on the far side. Freitas overran it, so St. Louis to go the other way. Vlastos running out of real estate, and it will be a throw-in for the Revs. Inside for Rivera. Looking at what's in front of him, gives it off to Firmino, who wins the free kick. Much to the chagrin of the St. Louis fans on the far side, quickly taken. Viana looks like he wanted to tee one up, instead gets it off to Firmino. Has it stabbed away from him. And Firmino coming back to win it. Oh, it's a good challenge from Firmino. It out for Quinones. Lovely first touch to get him on his way. Over for Fujiwara. Quinones on the overlap. And that's going to be a handball on Jeremiah Collins. So a free kick for the Revolution in the 29th minute. And once again, it's Quinones combining with Fujiwara to cause trouble down this right-hand side. So it's Trevor Burns who's over it. Committed to play his college ball at Georgetown. Sends it into the mix. And a diving header to get it clear. Not out of the woods yet, though. And now St. Louis can look to attack. Collins into the center for Keller. Over to the far side for Hummel. Hummel unable to get around Freitas. And the clearance taken down on the chest by Firmino. Has only Viana ahead of him, and Firmino will run out of room. It's a Revolution Academy that has produced 6 homegrown players, including the likes of Justin Rennicks, who just scored that game-winning goal against France in the U-20 World Cup, which put the U.S. into the quarterfinals. The Revolution are about 2 months away from completing a new $35 million training center at Gillette Stadium that will house everyone from the first team all the way down to the academy. And that is set to open in August, and as Academy Director Brian Scales said to me, it's going to have all the fixings. So the Revolution are very excited about that. So this comes back to Kazi. Freitas. Fujiwara with a little touch back. Now Fujiwara pointing to the channel, and he gets the ball in that position. But it's well defended by Miller, who does a good job not to concede the corner kick. Left off. And crowded out. Vlastos comes away with it. Off for Keller. He tries to fly Vostos. And a boot comes up. And it's going to be a yellow card for Vostos. So Vlastos becomes the second St. Louis player to go into the referee's book this evening. And a free kick for the New England Revolution. As the ball comes in short for Firmino. Ramirez, Firmino. Will to get it out wide for Freitas. Into the channel for Rivera. Rivera spins and gets it back off to Freitas, who comes back to Firmino. And Firmino taken down from behind. And that's going to be another yellow card. And this time it's Keller who goes into the referee's book, and he puts his hands out the referee saying, "What am I supposed to do? You're coming in from behind." You see here, Firmino turning around, and he lunges, leaves his feet, and catches him from behind. So 3 players on yellow cards now for St. Louis. So this is Metzak. Quinones. He's bundled over by Collins. We said Kobe Quinones is up from the 17s, where he made 18 starts. Academy director Brian Scales said that we bought him up for the spring, and he made a huge impact with the U18 19s. And you certainly see that with him getting his 6th appearance and his 4th start for these U18 19s here in the playoffs. And he's been very good, whether he attacks down the line as a traditional wingback or he comes in as an inverted wingback. And I think one thing him and Freitas are both very good at is knowing when to go inverted or when to be traditional with it, and they've both created a lot of problems down the flanks in this early going. This time it's Freitas' turn and his side that they're working on as the ball gets pulled back and poked away before Firmino could unload. Spiegel too tactile for the referee's liking as Hummel wins the free kick. Over for Collins. Lovely touch back for Lawson. A quick 1-2. Metzak gets there first to cut it out. So Redmond Lawson will take the throw. Played across in the header. Well, that was the first time that Causey has really been tested in this game. Good positioning made it easy for him to get across his line and make the save. Fujiwara inside for Viana. What a lovely piece of skill from Viana. Oh, what a sensational goal that would have been. The audacity to try that in this situation. Well, head coach Marcelo Santos said he's looking for players who take risks. I think that certainly fits Viana's style. Quinones. Ramirez. Burns. Burns thought he should have had a free kick. Referee disagrees, and it will be a throw-in for Lawson Redmond. Quinones. Ramirez. Spiegel. Well, they've had to work for a lot of the game without the ball, St. Louis FC, but they're doing a very good job of keeping their shape. Being very smart at picking and choosing the right times to press. Speaking of which, Hummel comes in. And this is Viana coming back into midfield to receive the ball. Little touch off from Firmino. Viana continuing his run, but he's muscled off by Collins. And Jeremiah Collins gets it back to Redmond. Quinones with the header. Burns. Ramirez. Now Freitas with a chance to go forward. Gets around Vlastos. And the cross. Firmino's there. Falls for Fujiwara. Fujiwara onto his right foot. He hesitated a bit too much. I think he should have took that first time right when it fell to him. And now Collins sends it forward to make Hummel work, but well out of his box to make the clearance is Kazi. Good anticipation and reading of the game from the Revolution keeper. Collins. Taken down by Quinones. And the St. Louis bench is complaining that if the yellow cards were given to their players, then that has to be a yellow for Quinones. Quinones is going to get a talking to. The question is any more retribution going to be taken? Well, Collins did well to win the ball off of Quinones, and then he comes in and, well, you know, he doesn't leave his feet, and he does get part of the ball. There is a little kick out there at the end. I think the referee's right not to give a yellow card, though, in this case. He's had some interesting decisions to make already in this game, the referee. Vlastos' free kick will bypass everyone and go out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for the Revs. 39th minute, still 0-0 between the New England Revolution and St. Louis FC. Patrick Schulte has made 3 extraordinary saves. Okazi has only been called upon once. Quinones cutting inside. It allows Fujiwara to receive it along the flank. And Fujiwara coming forward. Cuts inside. He's looking for the return ball from Burns, who couldn't find him. Keller did well to sort his feet out and get it back for Subotic. Viana will be called for the foul. Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. So this comes back for Austin Kazi. Freitas on the far side. Spiegel will float it to the near for Quinones. Metzak is over the head of Ramirez. Keller. Captain looking for options and smartly pulls it back. Look at how quickly they closed down the Revolution. And Freitas is whistled for the foul. And played over the head of Jeremiah Collins, so it's going to be a throw-in for the New England Revolution. Spray it over to the far side. In for Burns. Leaves it off out wide, waiting for the overlap from Freitas. Instead, it comes back to Ramirez. Rivera slides it through. And Miller gets there first and shields it off for Schulte. Good defending from Jensen Miller to make sure that Viana couldn't get around him. Schulte asking for options. Viana screaming that this has to be more than 6 seconds, as now he puts it on the floor. Metzak. Spiegel. Ramirez. Spiegel. Over the top looking for the run of Viana. Out of his goal box to make the clearance is Patrick Schulte. Cut out on the far side by Genenbacher. And Genenbacher, who trains with the first team regularly, drives 1.5 hours each way to training every single day. Just the commitment and the sacrifices that these players make to be here. It's really tremendous. A heavy collision on the far side. The free kick will go the way of the Revs. Well, St. Louis is mad because they didn't think a foul should have been called, and the Revolution are mad that the referee pulled that back, considering that they had advantage. Ramirez. Burns. Over to the near side for Fujiwara. Heavy touch, but it's won back by Quinones. Fujiwara unable to spin. Subitic wins it back. Ramirez intercepts, but it's won right back by Jeremiah Collins, who's been everywhere in this first half. As there's going to be 2 minutes of stoppage time once the clock hits 45 minutes. And Vlastos breaking down the far side. Danny Collins makes his way into the box. The overlap from Genenbacher, and the cross will go out for a corner kick. Second of the game for St. Louis. Can they take the lead before halftime? This will be an outswinger from the far side. It was a good job to track it down. The ball did go out. The assistant referee on the near side has his hand up. Flag up, I should say, and now the referee spots it, so it'll be throw-in for the Revs. Throw-in looking for Burns. New England looking to fashion one more opportunity. Collins rides the challenge of Fujiwara and gets it forward for Keller. Keller takes the space out on the wing, has nobody making the run, instead sends it back in the middle. It's a good ball, but out to quell the danger is Kazi. Fujiwara has it stolen away by Lawson Redmond, and this will come back to Schulte. Viana chasing, and now Mayer will bring it forward. Joey Mayer in his second season in the Development Academy plays it down the line, looking for the run of Redmond. And Quinones gets there first, and that will be the last action of the first half. And despite some good opportunities at both ends, it's the New England Revolution 0, St. Louis FC 0. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back with you for the final 45 minutes.
Patrick Schulte. I play for St. Louis FC Academy. I'm a goalkeeper, and I'm here for the DA playoffs. I had my first debut with St. Louis FC in the Open Cup a few weeks ago. We tied 1-1, went to penalties, and we won a penalty shootouts. It was real cool because I was the hero in the situation. The coaching staff, really prepared me well. Just growing up through the DA, they just taught me everything I know. I hate losing, so my mindset is don't let anything in. If I don't let anything in, I have faith in my teammates that they'll score a goal. Hopefully, each and every day we put our best effort out and we advance out of our group. This game was real good. Started off with 2 goals and then got another one. They got one back, but we kept fighting and got another one, and we got the win today.
Zero-zero at halftime as we take a look at the first half stats, and some huge saves from Patrick Schulte is the reason that we are at 0-0. This Viana with the hit, Schulte pushing it over, and then Fujiwara getting it in to Viana once again. At the other end, the header coming in from Hummel, but it was easy for Kazi. That was really the best opportunity for St. Louis, and then Fujiwara, and look at this from Viana, just brilliant skill. Just couldn't find the finish to match, as once again it was Schulte to the rescue for St. Louis FC. But what a play that was from Viana. That's one that I would send into highlight reels even though the goal wasn't scored. So 0-0 as Ramirez makes his way back onto the field. Redmond has been very busy up and down the left-hand side, having to deal with the likes of Fujiwara and Quinones. Has also been able to get forward well. One change to tell you about at halftime, as Isaac Ankang has come on for Kaoru Fujiwara. Ankang wearing number 63. He's making his 5th appearance for the U-18 19s. He's the 4th and youngest ever homegrown signing for the New England Revolution. Has played 3 games. Also a member of the U.S. U-20 national team. Had knee surgery back in March. And so now getting himself back to full fitness, Isaac Ankang was on the bench for the MLS side in their U.S. Open Cup match against the New York Red Bulls back on June 11th. So Ankang looking to see how he can change the complexion of this game, as the Revolution need all 3 points today to stay in the hunt for first place, as only the group winners go through here in the U.S. Soccer Development Academy playoffs. 8 groups of 4, the 8 group winners go through to the quarterfinals to be held on June 24th. So now we get back underway. Ankang's first touch. And King leaves it off. He's looking to combine on that far side. Now he comes centrally. Viana overtakes. I think he was looking for Ankang to continue his run. On a loose ball, picked off by Hummel. Hummel looking to run. It was a good job by Spiegel to stand him up and allow Freitas to get back and help him to win the ball. Freitas running out of room as he was closed down. Now the referee spots that his assistant had his flag up, and it will be a throw-in for St. Louis. So a throw-in for Genenbacher. Well, and it falls kindly for Jeremiah Collins. Last touch just a bit too heavy, and Kazi will come out to claim. Spiegel slides it inside looking for Freitas. Just a bit too much on it, but Freitas gave a thumbs up for the effort. And it will be a throw-in for Spiegel, who's going to leave this one off for Freitas. This one comes all the way back to Kazi. Into the feet of Jeremiah Collins. Well, this is a good run from Vlastos, and he wins the corner kick. First of the half for either side, third of the game for St. Louis FC. So the in-swinger comes in, Collins gets his head on it. Couldn't direct it on frame. And so it'll be a goal kick for Austin Kazi. It was good work from Collins to get up and win that header. I couldn't find his 14th goal of the season. Won by Hummel. Will be a throw-in for the Revolution. Burns out wide for King. Works his way to the box, pulls the trigger. Skips it just wide of the far post. But that's what Isaac King brings to the fray. Almost looked like it was behind him and still able to generate the power. Hummel. Off of him last, and it'll be a throw-in for the Revs. 5 minutes in, this is the second half, and half chances for both teams. Collins putting his header over from a corner kick for St. Louis, and King flashing his shot wide of the far post for the Revs. As Miller will get it back to his keeper. Patrick Schulte get it out for Genenbacher. Skips past the challenger Firmino. Over the top looking for Hummel. And out of his box to make the clearance is Kazi. Headed on to Rivera. Lovely first touch through, and that's well defended. Great slide by Miller coming up from his center back position to add an extra body in the midfield. He read that really well, especially considering that that was an excellent first touch into the space that the forward wanted to attack. Freitas. Beautiful outside the football to get it down the line for Rivera, but it's cut out. More excellent defending from Jensen Miller. Flicked on, too far beyond Jeremiah Collins, who's chasing. And Spiegel will get it back to Causey. Oh, Jeremiah Collins is just full of running. Look at him go as he puts Causey under pressure. And Freitas was unable to keep it in. Tremendous effort, though, from Freitas. Back for Miller. The ball when Missouri native looks up. It sprays it to the far side. Brought down by Danny Collins. Gets it out wide and continues his run. Opens up the space on the inside. Now Jeremiah Collins is all the way on the other side, but he loses out. Firmino. And too far for On King. And King latches onto the loose ball. Rivera takes off on this near side. Ball continues along the far. Was driven across. And Firmino applauds the effort even though it's cut out by Schulte. Miller gets it across. The Revs looking to squeeze. And Schulte bypasses the pressure. Collins' back header. Hummel trying to get onto it. And Causey with another clearance. He's doing an excellent job tonight, acting as the sweeper keeper for the New England Revolution. But he'll have to be back on his line here. Jeremiah Collins cuts back in the box, is dragged down, and the referee points to the spot. Jeremiah Collins never stopped running, has just kept going and going and going, finally rewarded for his effort. And St. Louis has a chance to take the lead from 12 yards out. Collins had the step on Metzak, then pulled behind him, and Metzak's trailing leg brings him down. Clear penalty. And now a chance for the captain, Kip Keller, looking for his 6th goal of the season and to give St. Louis the lead. Keller, a picture of concentration. Keller steps up and scores. Sends Causey the wrong way. And St. Louis have the lead on 55 minutes. As cool as you'd like. At the last second, opens up his hips and slots it to the right. And Causey gets strong. And it's time to party over in the corner as the entire St. Louis FC Academy joins in on the celebrations. And now New England Revolution have to fight for their playoff lives. Need all 3 points today. But for the moment, it's St. Louis who are on their way to taking 6 points out of 6 on the first 2 match days. Still, of course, plenty of time to play in this one. Collins fighting for it, but it will go out for a throw-in. And King skying to win that header. Was unable to keep it in. It's the number 20 seed St. Louis FC who have a lead over the number 6 seed New England Revolution here in Group A. What will the response be from the MLS side? As Firmino goes to ground. No foul, says the referee. And a break could be on here for St. Louis. Ball slid through. Jeremiah Collins is off to the races again. Works his way into the box. And Kazi able to get to it before it goes out for a corner. Inside for Ramirez. Over to the far side. Vienna wanted it in the pocket of space. Instead, it goes to Anking, who gets it forward for Firmino. Firmino bumped off the ball. The cross comes in, and it's cut out by the goal scorer, Kip Keller. Game really beginning to get stretched. St. Louis don't have enough players forward to take advantage as now Vlastos joins the scene. Genenbacher was looking to thread it through. Hummel wasn't making the run, and this will roll out for a goal kick. Well, the idea was there, but the two St. Louis FC players were not on the same page. And the younger Revolution Academy members trying to will their side back into this game. Cries of revolution from the far corner. It's the long ball looking for Rivera. Lovely touch to bring it down. Rivera works his way to the top of the box and gets it off for Anking. Anking's looking to set himself up, leaves it off for Firmino. Firmino picks up Freitas, who's able to find Ramirez. Ramirez looking for options. Now we'll come back to the near side. Spiegel inside for Anking. Freitas. Rivera unable to dance his way through. And the clearance a bit too far for Hummel as it goes out for a Revolution throw-in. Ramirez's switch. Look at that for a piece of skill, bringing it down instantly on the trap. Burns slides it through for Anking. Anking spins Keller. Now leaves it off. Player goes down at the top of the box. No foul, says the referee. Keller to bring it the other way. And good quick pressing by the Revolution to win it right back. Now it's Rivera arrowing his way into the box. They show too much of it to Genenbacher, who clears only as far as Anking. We will roll it off for Firmino. It's the two homegrown signings connect for the New England Revolution. Anking tried to disguise his pass, but the St. Louis defenders were wise to it. And now they're running 2-on-2 the other way if they can hurry. It's a well-timed ball, but it's cut out by Metzak. Freitas been really impressed with him today. Firmino. Elio Firmino gets it out wide, wants it back right in the center. Instead, it's going to come to Ramirez. And drive it along the ground, looking for Rivera. Cut out by Genenbacher. And the Revolution press wins the ball back yet again. So they've really picked it up in the last few minutes. So we're past the hour mark in Oceanside. 1-0 St. Louis FC leads the New England Revolution on a penalty kick goal from Kip Keller. Ramirez. Metzak. They're doing so well to keep their defensive shape, St. Louis. As it comes out to Rivera. So dangerous when he gets the ball and looks to cut inside. And King. Elio Firmino. Burns has a hit. And it was blocked by Jeremiah Collins. Who else? Lifted back in over the head of Firmino. And King at the top of the box. And that's a stellar challenge. Well, 28 plus minutes is a long time for St. Louis to sit bunkered in. Every time that ball gets forward, the bench is pleading with the midfield and defenders to get up and close the lines behind the attack. It's Vlastos inside for Jeremiah Collins. Took himself a bit too far out wide. Mishit it, but it fell kindly, and the shot is over. Jeremiah Collins has been everywhere. Here he was again and mishit it, but it still worked out well. Danny Collins with a chance to bury that one, but his shot was always rising. Well, it's like that Bugs Bunny sketch where he's at every single base, but instead it's a soccer field and it's Jeremiah Collins. Very well may have aged myself with that one, but still. He has just popped up everywhere. Firmino gets it back for Spiegel. Mishi Vlastos applying the pressure. Firmino looking for the run of Freitas. Instead, it's Keller to go the other way. Now Viana coming in. And Keller gets it back to Schulte. Long ball down the flank, looking for Lawson Redmond. Flag stays down. Redmond gets to the byline. And coming in and now Redmond has to come back, and that's a heavy challenge, but the foul had already been called, so it's going to go the way of St. Louis. Well, taking a look, and I thought the referee had pointed the other way. Well, that's going to be a free kick for the Revolution. Damien Rivera gets it back. Elio Firmino. This is Firmino. Viana holds his run and he's onside. Miller squares up to him. Viana gets the overlap from Damien Rivera. Rivera into the danger area. And the deflection means it's easy pickings out of the air for Schulte. Lovely distribution from Schulte. Right to Genenbacher, who gets it down the wing for Vlastos. Vlastos holds it up to his left foot and fires it across. Jeremiah Collins still going. Collins twisting, turning, full of intent, looking for options. Still going Collins, now plays it across. Collins back on the loose ball, and finally it's nudged away from him. Now Firmino with room to run. Firmino played it behind Trevor Burns. And it's Jeremiah Collins to go the other way. Has Vlastos and Hummel ahead of him. And he'll hold it up and wait for the cavalry to arrive. Collins plays catch with Redmond. Has to sort his feet out. We'll have to go back with it. Mayer gets it over to Miller. He'll send it long the other way. The offside flag stays down. Danny Collins tried to slide it through for Hummel, but it was well read by Quinones on the far side, and it went out of bounds before Collins could save it. Well, they've done a great job of pinning Quinones back on that far side, as he was a nuisance charging down the flank on the near in the first half, but he's had to stay at home a bit more in the second. And it was from him that New England fashioned most of their first half chances. And King rolls it along. Freitas continuing forward, but Mayer gets it back to his keeper. Spiegel. Rivera into the path of Viana. Viana slides it across and cleared away by Redmond. That's better from the Revolution as they continue to press for the equalizer, but Lawson Redmond comes to St. Louis's rescue. You see him pick his head up and slide it across, and it's so dangerous, but Redmond did well. Freitas thought he was going to have a tap in, but Redmond got in front of him just in time. Keller, captain and scorer of the game's lone goal, gets it out wide for Redmond. Slides it into the path of Collins. And the return ball just a bit too far ahead of Hummel. Collins has another opportunity to serve it in. Gets it onto his right foot, still going Collins. He's had a couple chances over on that far side, Danny Collins, to serve it in with his left, but just didn't seem comfortable. Put it back on his right, and then was forced to go back with it. Viana sprays it to the far side. And King, unable to turn, but he wins the free kick. And King plays it quickly. Freitas looking for options, gets it out wide to Firmino. Has Damien Rivera ahead of him. Freitas thrown to ground by Vlastos, and it'll be a free kick for the Revolution. Well, it's starting to get a bit chippy out there. Don't know whether that was a foul or not. The referee thought it was. And here, Vlastos getting a large chunk of Freitas' jersey. The Revolution, the benefactors of free kicks on both occasions. And it's the two homegrown signings who are over the ball for the New England Revolution, in Firmino and King. It would be Firmino on the right or King on the left. And it is going to be Firmino. It's a good hit, just over the crossbar. So we go into the final 20 minutes. And Elio Firmino looking for his 10th goal of the season here at the U-19 level. Just couldn't get his effort to drop in time. And now Luis Sanchez getting set to flip, Louis Swisher rather, head coach for St. Louis, getting set to flip the switch on his first substitutions of the evening. As it's Danny Collins whose number is up. So the 19-year-old from Springfield, Illinois will come off to a rousing applause. Referee making sure that Collins doesn't waste any time as he comes over. Coming on in his place is Christian Malinchik. So Malinich is in for Collins. Vlastos unable to keep it in. Dennis Ramirez gets it back to Metzak. And now Nathan Metzak, who joined from Oakwood last season, looking to pick out a pass, but it's one back. Genenbacher trying to get forward, but Damien Rivera intercepts. Now going the other way for the Revs. Slides it out wide for Firmino. Firmino works his way into the box. Meets the double team, gets it back for Burns, who sets up the cross. And this will roll out of bounds for a Revolution corner kick. Well, Damien Rivera, the number 17, or number 72 rather, for the New England Revolution, done an excellent job. Was pulled up from the 17s where he's having some success. The Revolution coaching staff wanted to see how he would do playing up an age group, and he made such a big impact that he's in for these playoffs. So this corner kick comes in. Played back out for Ramirez. Ramirez flights it over to the near side for Burns. Burns unable to get there before Genenbacher, but it will be another throw-in for the Revolution. Slid inside. Viana to the byline. Another corner kick for the Revs. Once again, the skill from Viana with the step over to create that little space. It was good defending, though, to get the block in on that cross. So the in-swinger comes in, and Schulte will deal with those all day. Mayer. Back for Schulte. Nathan Metzak with the header. One back, Subotic sees the keeper off his line, but won't get it to drop in time. Love the soccer IQ of Subotic to try that. That would have been a special goal from Fehu Subotic. As Firmino wins the free kick, Viana's going to be told to take it back another 3 or 4 yards. Rivera. What can the Cranston, Rhode Island native conjure up? Comes back for Spiegel. We'll roll it along for Metzak. Over the top for Firmino. Helps it along to Rivera. Keller working on him. Rivera walking the end line and cleared away. Firmino. Vlastos policing him. Ramirez. Burns. Oh, he was waiting for the run of Anking, who didn't go. And it will roll over the end line for a goal kick as we're inside the final 15 minutes on match day 2 in Oceanside, California of the U-18-19 U.S. Soccer Development Academy playoffs. St. Louis with the 1-0 lead coming from the penalty spot as Kip Keller sent Austin Causey the wrong way in the 55th minute. No foul given. And the flag stays down as Milanic catches up to it. He has players coming into the box. Milanic brings it down himself, plays it across. And safety first as it's cleared away for a corner kick. And a good run from Kristen Milanic. 15th appearance of the season for the substitute. I think if he had just held that ball and waited 1 or 2 more seconds, he could have slid it back to players making their way in at the top of the box. But still wins the corner kick. And Vlastos and Collins in their normal position over in the corner, standing over the dead ball. Vlastos plays it in.
Get back, get back, get back, get back!
And a foul is called.
Joey, back!
78th minute. St. Louis have kept their shape, defended like lions, and have taken their chances when going forward. Have a goal to show for their efforts, looking to hold on and go to 6 points at the top of Group A before their final match with the New York Red Bull, which, depending on their result with Real Colorado, could set up a final day showdown in winner take all. Over the top, just too far for Rivera, who had snuck in between the center backs. And Schulte very smartly knows that he needs to take as much time as he can every time the ball's in his hands. And so now a change is in the offing. As it's Burns who exits. And he's replaced by Gavark Diarbian, who has a verbal commitment to play his college ball at Providence. So we'll see how Gavork Diarbian can change this game for the New England Revolution. Well, a substitution has also been made by St. Louis. Coming on is Suleiman Musa. On a free kick for the Revolution on the far side. And another yellow card given out by the referee. This time it's for the substitute, Kristen Milanic. Into the final 10 minutes, and the Revolution looking for an equalizer. And Schulte gets the second ball and will fall on it. And every time he claims that ball or it's cleared, a huge cheer goes up from the St. Louis FC cheering section and younger academy players. Schulte looking for Genenbacher. And Freitas heads it back to Austin Causey. Firmino. Into the channel for Onking. Onking fizzes it across, but it's cleared away. Freitas. Vlastos. Over to the far side looking for Malinic. Closed down by Quinones. And this will be a free kick for Vlastos. And Schulte coming all the way out to take this one as more seconds tick off the clock. And this time Malinic will be called for the push. And Quinones is going to get a talking to and a yellow card as well for kicking out afterwards. So you can see here the foul, and then Quinones just held his feet out to bring down Malinic. So he'll get the free kick, but he also receives a yellow card. Played out wide for Rivera. He gets around Miller. Off for Freitas. Freitas can't find inroads. And King, Vlastos blows by him. Picks his head up, skips past another challenge. Now played it for Keller, who turned around. And Spiegel will get it back to his keeper. 84th minute. And Kazi will get it off to Freitas. Well, King and Firmino have really been given free rolls to go wherever they need to receive the ball. Now King's going up top as this ball comes back to Metzak. And King slides it in. And a sliding clearance made by Miller. And now it changes. Damien Rivera comes off to be replaced by Michael Sekulius. Sekulius, another player who's up from the U-17s. And King. Sabatic. And intercepted by Quinones. But Kalinic wins it back. Still going Malinic. Excellent work from the substitute, Kristen Malinic. As it comes back to Schulte. And he'll send it forward. Jeremiah Collins with the header. And back it comes to Kazi in the 85th minute. Viana. Spiegel. Well, they've huffed and they've puffed through the first 85 minutes, but they've been unable to blow the St. Louis house down, the New England Revolution. And now it's the Missouri side that can attack. Over into the corner. And that will work for St. Louis as more time will come off the clock inside the final 5 minutes now. And in 5 minutes, all eyes will be on that man to see how much stoppage time he adds on at the end of this one. Jeremiah Collins, tigerish work from him, but he runs out of room. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Revs. Over to Firmino. The Brazilian brings it forward. Over Sekulius. And a free kick is called for the high boot. And now St. Louis is going to make another change for Lewis Swisher's side. As coming off is going to be Vlastos. And he'll be replaced by Giuseppe De Ceros, making his 19th appearance of the season. This one into the corner, and Spiegel will cut off Collins, so it goes out for a goal kick. Quickly taken by Kazi. A quarter kick won by Diarbian. Revolution want to take it quickly. Freitas looks to send it in. It's a dangerous ball, but it's cleared away by Keller. Chested down, and this time it's Mayer who gets a boot to it. And now offside is called. So St. Louis will have the ball, and they're going to take their time with this one. St. Louis on the verge of improving to 14-6-5 on the season. And they could very well ice it here. The chance is on for Milanic. Kazi had to apply gloves. And it's going to be a corner kick for St. Louis as the seconds continue to tick away in Oceanside. Really the first big save Kazi's had to make, and he keeps New England in with a chance. St. Louis send this one in. And now they can take it over to the other corner and hold it there. And that's exactly what Miller's doing. And it's going to be a goal kick. Not sure why they didn't just try and hold it in the corner right off the corner kick. But now the Revs can go the other way in the final minute of the 90. Launch forward. Helped on for Sekulius. Shielded off the ball and cleared away by Miller. Brought down by Spiegel. And sent back in. Rivera has the overlap from Firmino. And Musa will get there first. Unable to shield it out of bounds though. Firmino goes down and the referee waves play on. Across to the back post, overhand King. And then the shot over. Was this a penalty? Firmino getting around Musa, gets away, and well, the boot did come out. Whether or not Firmino went down too easily, that's for you to decide, as there's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes for St. Louis to hold on, 3 minutes for the Revolution to find an equalizer and keep their playoff hopes alive. Rivera striding forward, leaves it off. Firmino has a go, and Schulte falls on it. Well, the chances are starting to come for the Revolution, but is it too little too late? As Freitas will head it all the way back for Kazi. And Kazi tries to kick it away instead of letting it roll into his box so he can pick it up and punt it. And it's going to be a throw-in for St. Louis. Now they're going to look to make their way into the corner. Kazi. Collins snips in! St. Louis are going to take all 3 points, and it's no more than Jeremiah Collins deserves. Spiegel playing that ball back for Kazi, and it was an awkward one, but never giving up on any play. Jeremiah Collins picks the pocket of the keeper and rolls it into the empty net. Jeremiah Collins, without a doubt, the man of the match, won the penalty that opened the scoring for St. Louis, and now getting on the score sheet himself. And St. Louis FC will go into the final match day with a chance to go through to the quarterfinals against the New York Red Bulls. So this falls for Sekulius. Plays it to the far side where there are no runners for the Revolution. Schulte being told to get on with it by the referee as he sends it over to Jeremiah Collins. Spiegel with the header away, but flying in is Gedenbacher. Well, that's what St. Louis FC Academy thinks about it, as the final whistle goes. And St. Louis FC go to 6 points as they improve to 2-0 in Group A with a 2-0 win over the New England Revolution. Jeremiah Collins won the penalty from which Kip Keller opened the scoring in the 55th minute, and then he added the insurance goal himself in stoppage time. Well, that will do it for us here in the booth, but stay with us here on U.S. Soccer and the U.S. Soccer Development Academy Facebook page as we will go pitch side for an interview with somebody from St. Louis FC. But for now, from the booth, I'm Mark Serber saying good night from Oceanside, where it finishes the New England Revolution 0, St. Louis FC 2. We're here with Jeremiah Collins, who won the penalty for the first goal and then scored the second. Now 2 wins out of 2. What has allowed you guys to have success so far throughout these playoffs?
Honestly, our energy. We come in as the underdogs and everybody's doubting us, so we just go out there and we play our game. STL homegrown.
And speaking of the energy, you covered every blade of grass, even in the 90th minute. Where do you find that energy and that ability to do that so late in the game?
I don't know. I come out from out in the country, so we just work our butt off and we don't stop till the whistle blows.
And so walk us through first the penalty. What did you see as you made that run into the box?
Well, I had 2 guys coming on me, but one was closing me on my right side quick. And it was either take the shot or cut back and create space for myself like I did in the past game and bury it with my right foot. So I did that, and he just took out my leg from underneath me.
And then, of course, on that second goal, just down to pure hustle, did you really think that you were going to be able to get the ball from him, or were you just trying to make him hurry up and have an errant clearance?
I wanted it. I seen it, and I wanted it. Seen my shot, and I took it.
Well, now come into a game with the Red Bulls, win that game, you go through to the quarterfinals. What is the approach as you go into the third and final game of the group?
Honestly, we're never underestimating Red Bulls, even with their seed. So we're going to go out there and we're going to just play our game, and we're going to play as hard as we have been and hope it goes our way.
Jeremiah Collins created the first goal and scored the second, and now they head into Matchday 3 with a chance to advance to the quarterfinals. Jeremiah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.